Probably one of the most underrated soul singers ever. I'm tempted to put her up there with Aretha Franklin. If she had some bigger hit records, a string of hit records, and she had some hit records, particularly on R&B, but she had a bunch of top 10 pop crossovers, she'd probably been ranked up there with Aretha Franklin. But still, I'm sure a lot of people out there rank her with Aretha Franklin, Gladys Knight, and Betty Swan. Yes, Betty Swan. Let's get to this Billboard Hot 100 January 20. Let me get the date. Just bear with me, folks. January 25th, 1969. Top 6 hits that week. Hooked on a Feeling by B.J. Thomas, produced by Chips Moman, and Everyday, that's at number 6. Everyday People at number 5 by Sly and the Family Stone. Soulful Strut, Young Holt Unlimited at number Young Heart Unlimited at number 4. I'm Gonna Make You Love Me by the Supremes of the Temptations at number 3. Got some soul on here. Crimson and Clover by Tommy James and the Shondells, number 2. And I Heard It Through the Grapevine by Marvin Gaye, produced by Norman Whitfield and written by Norman Whitfield and Barrett Strong. But a song I want to talk to you about, I Lost It. Oh my goodness, here it is. Debuted at number 80 previous week, moved up 1 to number 79. Etta James, covering a country classic, Almost Persuaded, and she is just very convincing. That was one of the cool things about the 60s, was that a lot of R&B artists were not afraid to cover country records. You seldom hear that anymore, but it did happen back in the 60s quite a bit. This song, Almost Persuaded, written by Glenn Sutton and Billy Sherrill, Billy Sherrill, who country politics producer, who worked with Charlie Rich and Tammy Wynette later on. These two guys, they wrote Almost Persuaded. Billy Sherrill, a songwriter, I think a producer at Muscle Shoals at the time, David Houston, took it to number 1 country. It was number 1 on country for 9 weeks. That's over 2 months. Went to number 24 on the pop charts. I think one of the local radio stations, WTBC here in Tuscaloosa, played it, and so did WSGN in Birmingham, 1966. Almost Persuaded. Been covered by loads of people, Almost Persuaded. Tammy Wynette, Louis Armstrong, Merle Haggard, Etta James. Guess who produced, oh God, guess who produced the Etta James version? Rick Hall. He just passed away. Rick Hall of Muscle Shoals, the famed studios of Muscle Shoals. This album, the album Tell Mama, produced at Muscle Shoals famed studio. Now, it was timed. And she recorded this album in Muscle Shoals right here in Alabama. Just north of here in Tuscaloosa, about 3 or 4 hours away from here. These guys, the producers were tight. It was just tightly arranged. And sometimes, now, when Etta James hit the high notes, it was sometimes distorted. But Muscle Shoals, the producers there, they worked with her vocals. They mixed her vocals to where it sounded stronger, as opposed to simply sounding distorted when she hit the highs. Well, anyway, the song did not do that well on Billboard's Hot 100. The big hit was Tell Mama, and that was in 1968. She did have another song out. She did some covers on this album, Still Away, which was done by Jimmy Hughes back in 1964. And she did a song called I'd Rather Go Blind, which was covered by a whole bunch of people, including a guy named Sidney Youngblood. Had a minor hit with that record back in 1990. But here we are with Etta James. Oh man, she killed it. She nailed this thing. This is classic soul. She turned this country record, along with the help of Rick Hall and the producers at Muscle Shoals, turned this country record into one soulful masterpiece. All right, here we go. Billboard's Hot 100 coming in at number 79. Almost Persuaded. Etta James off the Cadet record label on Billboard's Hot 100 early 1969.